We're going to get into our best bets now. Suma, you won last week, so we'll kick it off with you. What do you like and why?
I like the Thursday matchup. I like Green Bay here getting points or getting a plus money line at home. I'm really impressed with what the Packers offense has done in Jordan Love's first three starts without their wide receiver one, without Aaron Jones. I think Edgerton was a massive downgrade over Aaron Jones. They had O-line injuries, and their offense was still pretty good. They didn't have the highest success rate, but they created a lot of big plays. Now Christian Watson is likely going to be back. Aaron Jones is likely going to be back. Jerry Alexander, maybe 50-50, but he was limited yesterday after sitting out with a back injury last Sunday. Lions also have a few injuries, and I just think that this is a great spot. Matt LaFleur is doing an incredible job game planning and scheming wise. I would probably give him the advantage on a short week, and Packers at home against the Lions. I make this with Aaron Jones and Christian Watson playing. I make this Packers being favorites, and I gladly take them as a short home dog.
Round Earth Guy says that Packers are the best teaser leg of the week. I think a lot of people echo that with a medium-sized total and the chance that this could be a close game at Lambeau. Eric, you also were victorious last week, wire-to-wire winner with the Pittsburgh Steelers. What's the best bet of this week for you?
I think there's a similar one where, we're going to pick at least on the point spread side, you're going to pick a short dog with the Seattle Seahawks out to maybe minus 130 or so. I just, the Giants have very few advantages in this game, and the Seattle Seahawks are fairly resilient in the places where the Giants have an advantage. And then I think that we're a little bit overrating the Darren Waller, to Hitman's point about he has a hamstring that could blow at any time. And then obviously you have Saquon Barkley possibly coming back, but probably not healthy enough to really be an impact player. From there, it's Daniel Jones, who's really struggled through the first few weeks. So I'm going to go with Seattle, who's doing a lot of things right. And I think where they're weaker, I don't necessarily think the Giants can take advantage.
All right, so Packers on the Thursday night game for Suma, Seahawks on the Monday night game for Eric. We're going to Sunday, Hitman, for your play. Who do you like and why?
Well, we've struggled with the best bets, but what do we know? The old tout playbook is talk about how good the leans are doing if you're winning those. And if the leans aren't winning, then just don't mention them. So, but in all seriousness, the New Orleans Saints -3, that would be my best bet. Bucks, the corner injuries, it's a big mismatch going against the Saints wide receivers, Raheem Shaheed, Michael Thomas, and Chris Olave. Winston, I don't think is as big of a downgrade as the market might think. The Bucks, some of their previous 2 wins, just not looking that impressive right now, with a fluky win against Minnesota and only being up 3 against Chicago late in that game. Tampa can't run, going to put a lot of success needed from Baker Mayfield, but it's a tough matchup for his top weapons. Mike Evans against Lattimore. The Saints are pretty good against slot receivers. And we also have the Saints history against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know it was against Brady, but it's been really the same coaching staffs, and the Saints have fared very well in this rivalry. So I think that the Saints -3, best bet this week.
All right, and I'll close it out here with the Wembley game in London. Nothing better than waking up to football on a Sunday morning while you're doing all your prep and being able to actually watch a game. Earlier this afternoon, there was a lot of steam on the Atlanta Falcons in this game. Entire board got hit. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are a solid play at -3, -108. I'd play this up to -120. I don't want to boil this all down to quarterback play, but I have zero faith in Desmond Ridder. This is Trevor Lawrence against Desmond Ridder. The likelihood that Lawrence gets it corrected is much higher than Ridder being able to sling it downfield all of a sudden. Jacksonville's game last week, a little bit misleading. They struggled with some fumbles. There was a special teams return for a touchdown, which I almost fell off my couch when I saw it for the Houston Texans in that game, as it wasn't even the returner that returned it for a touchdown. Just a lot of things that worked against them altogether. But one thing Jacksonville's done well this year is defend the run. quality of competition matters. They haven't faced the greatest running backs. It was Indy with Deion Jackson. It was Kansas City. It was Houston. But ultimately, I do think that this is an above average run defense, and it's going to put Atlanta in some spots that are uncomfortable. CJ Stroud made throws downfield last week to Tank Dell. Desmond Ridder does not have that in his arsenal, in my opinion. I do view this as a good spot for Jacksonville. I think that there's a decent size separation between these two teams, and I'm not giving Jacksonville much home field advantage. I just really think Atlanta looked good in week 1 against Carolina, or wins by 2 touchdowns in a game that honestly was way closer than it would suggest against a bad Carolina team. Bryce Young last week should have performed much better against a Detroit team that was decimated by injury. So I think this one's a little bit short here. And I am aware that I am opposing some very, very big money in the market today, but I do like the Jacksonville Jaguars in this game.